Recently, Donald Trump took to Twitter to share how outraged he is in regard to the Russia probe. And for the first time, he has acknowledged that he is being personally investigated as a result of this case. In fact, he's being investigated for obstruction of justice, mostly because of his own doing and because of the fact that he decided to fire James Comey. Now, the Washington Post reported that Robert Mueller, the special counsel now overseeing the investigation, is looking at Trump's conduct. Now, an investigation into Trump for possible obstruction of justice began just days after he fired FBI Director James Comey on May 9th. That would actually mean it began before Mueller was appointed as special counsel by Deputy Attorney General Rosenstein on May 17th. Now, the New York Times also reported, by the way, that Mueller wanted to speak to at least 3 high-ranking current or former intelligence officials. And keep in mind that there is a little bit of a conflict in terms of whether or not Donald Trump was actually encouraged or advised to fire Comey by Jeff Sessions and also Rod Rosenstein. And if that is the case, they could also be investigated for obstruction of justice. If they told him to fire Comey, well, then they're also implicated in this case. Now, Rosenstein did release a statement about this, and he said, "I've talked to Director Mueller about this. He's going to make the appropriate decisions, and if anything I did winds up being relevant to his investigation, then as Director Mueller and I discussed, if there's a need from me to recuse, I will." And also, look, this is speculation, so this is my take. This is not fact, or it hasn't been confirmed. But I just get the sense that Mueller's like, yeah, dude, just like I don't want to do this anymore. Fine, I'm recused. Like, just I don't want to do this.
The Rosenstein doesn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, Rosenstein. Right, yeah. Yes. Now, anyway, here's the interesting thing. Trump starts tweeting about it. Of course, he's outraged. He says, "I am being investigated for firing the FBI director by the man who told me to fire the FBI director. Witch hunt." And so it's unclear who he's talking about. Is he talking about Sessions? Is he talking about Rosenstein?
He's talking about Rosenstein.
Right. Well, so we're assuming that he's talking about Rosenstein. The Talking Points memo writes, "It is unclear to whom Trump is referring, Sessions or Rosenstein, and Attorney General Sessions wrote memos, both of them actually wrote memos supportive of ousted FBI Director James Comey's firing. But it's all super questionable because if you can remember, during an interview, Trump said this.
Look, he's a showboat, he's a grandstander. The FBI has been in turmoil, you know that, I know that, everybody knows that. What I did is I was going to fire Comey. My decision, it was not.
You had made the decision before they came in the room.
I was going to fire Comey. There's no good time to do it, by the way.
Because in your letter you said I accepted their recommendation. Yeah, well, so you had already made the decision.
I was going to fire regardless of recommendation.
I don't know, man. I don't know. So you said you were going to do it unilaterally, regardless of what anyone tells you, and then fast forward to today, and I'm being investigated for firing the FBI director by the man who told me to fire the FBI director. You're a clown.
Rod Rosenstein needs to leave, right? I mean, he got used when he wrote that memo. You should have refused to write the memo, but when he agreed to write the memo, if you didn't realize that there was a reason why they wanted you to write the memo, it's so whether Trump then made a mistake, I think, in the plan because he can't help himself by going on with Lester Holt and admitting, no, it was my decision and I was always going to do it. But still, even now, they can always refer back. He can say, yeah, I was going to do it. But look, I got both Jeff Sessions, who was supposed to have already recused himself, and Rod Rosenstein wrote this memo. He got played. I mean, he allegedly has this reputation for being, Rosenstein does, being a serious bipartisan, he's a professional. That was the image but a professional doesn't allow himself to get used by that, and quitting now, again, would serve him well, but I see no indication that he's going to do that. Everybody in America should get fairly familiar with the name Rachel Brand. She's the third in command at the Justice Department, and when Rosenstein recuses himself, and since Trump had a conversation with him where he asked him to write this memo, obviously it would appear that would be part of Mueller's investigation. What was that conversation like? How did you hear about it? What was your conversation with the president? Well, that makes you involved in the investigation. Again, not the target of the investigation, but involved in the investigation. So So my hunch is Rosenstein is going to have to recuse himself, and Rachel Brand will be the person who ultimately Trump pressures to fire Robert Mueller.
Right, and then ultimately she'll have to recuse herself in some way, and then
she just got here, so maybe she won't. Yeah.
If everyone involved with Russia had to recuse themselves, we'd have no government. but to me, the craziest thing, I mean, literally the most insane thing about this is, in order to communicate with the president, we have to try to interpret his tweets.
I know, it's absurd.
Think about that. I mean, that is like talking to a 14-year-old girl. Like, what did that tweet really mean? You're right. Well, their hands are about the same size. So
yeah,
that was my comparison.
You just watched the video from the Young Turks. Did you know that there's a live 2-hour show every day, and that if you're a member of the Young Turks, you can get that on demand anytime you want without ads? Plus the post game just for members, plus Aggressive Progressives, plus Old School, plus so many other network shows. Go right now, tytnetwork.com/join.